All right, team, let's go ahead and get started. Chuckfu with Traders War Room. Yes, I am back from vacation, man. It was a great time to be away, but now it's time to get back to business. Guys, we're going to start with the pre-market show for 6 November. Want to highlight a couple things. Don't forget about our Traders War Room Trading University. Had a few people sign up for this over this particular week. Yes, it's a digital course. We have various topics. Everything is self-paced. It's equivalent to an 8 to 10 week course. Once you're an alumni of Traders War Room University, you receive lifetime access. What does that mean? Well, you get access to the course, right, that you choose, and any updates to that course, where we're looking at going in quarterly, updating relevant information, and going into 2024, we're going to start a quarterly town hall for all alumni, kind of like you would have at like a university with like an assembly or something. We're going to do that only trading and investing style. So really, we keep adding to our university. It's really the part of trading and investing that a lot of people don't want to dig into because usually it comes with some sort of cost, but it's one of those that the true investors and traders that really want to craft this and develop to become lifetime traders or experienced traders, these are the things that separate them from their peers. So congrats to those who've already signed up. Hopefully a lot more will come in there. And like I said, man, this is the bread and butter that makes you into that experienced trader that you see out there, hitting the street and getting the beat on the stocks and stuff like that. Mentoring session last week was a little light on mentoring because of the scheduling, but definitely, guys, we're booking, we're pushing out these mentor sessions. So now that I'm back, my schedule is open back up this week. Don't forget, we got some other mentors as well that are by request, Shiner, and we got a couple other ones on the TWR platform that people can request as well that are internal TWR staff. But for the most part, Shiner and I are the ones that do this. Book out your session. Our secretary will get back with you within 24 to 48 hours. Take your schedule, our schedules, and then come back with a couple hit times for you to pick from so that we can execute your training. And don't forget, we got 2023 campaign. Remember, 2023 campaign was make that market bend that knee in 2023. Guys, it's 2024 coming around the corner, and we want you to be part of the selection for the 2024 campaign. So right now we have an active campaign that's out there. Winner will be selected on 1 December 2023. Here's what you get, okay? You're going to get lifetime access to all three platforms. You're going to get live access to one of the TWR University courses. You're going to get a box of TWR merchandise and swag, and we're going to give you a cash prize. It costs nothing for you to submit a nice slogan for 2024 so that TWR can use, but you will get, if you're selected and your slogan is selected, you will get a prize that far exceeds your time and effort in coming up with something creative for us to use. So definitely, you got an idea, you hit me up on a social media, you hit me up on the email, you go to my direct message, whatever it is, you guys, I leave myself open so you can contact me, hit me up, and let's get this cracking. You guys give me your slogans, and like I said, December 1st, we're going to pick the winner, and then we're going to rock it. Other than that, guys, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of opportunities we have with trading and investing. Give me one moment and we'll go ahead and open it up and get into the Weeble. All right. I'm taking it that everyone can see this screen here. Let's make sure. All right. We are on it. Let's go ahead and go into, all right. We're going to go ahead and get into the charts here. I'm going to go into, I got this set up for my TV, so you guys won't be able to see quite the thing. We're going to focus on this one here. All right. This right here, of course, is the 5-minute chart. And we're going to go ahead and see what we got going on. Actually, I'm going to go into a new single chart. All right. I want to go ahead and remove this. Sorry, guys. Let's go ahead and remove this. I don't know what I did. Do a big boy 4-layer dual chart with options. Oh, big boy 4-layer. Okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and remove this real fast. Chart. No, that's not what I want to do. All right, we're going to focus on this. Here we go. We're just going to go ahead and get into this one. Let's go ahead and go into single. All right. Sit here. And I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's what it was. All right. We're going to focus right here. We're going to go ahead and go into SPY first. All right. SPY 5-minute. We're starting to see a little bit of a negative downtrending coming out of pre-market. We noticed that we had a nice little gap up here, right? This was on the second. Okay. Had nice pushes coming into this. And then, of course, we got our nice little gap today coming into pre-market, or excuse me, our push down. We were running on pretty high coming in here. We were expecting some of this push. This will suggest that we probably are looking for a little bit of a downtrend pressure, which is okay. You know, we were expecting a little bit of a pullback. I wanted to show people something real quick. When we're looking at SPY and we push out a little bit further, let me go ahead and push this out a little bit. I want you guys to see this. Okay. We push out on the 4-hour chart, right? I want you guys to note that on the regular, going into a different, we're just going into the basic RSI here, okay? All right. And why is it not showing up? I don't know. Hello. I selected you. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So we got an RSI here. Looking in the 4-hour chart. I want you guys to notice this thing. Anytime we've been sitting here, right, close to 70 or pushing into the 70s, look at this. Look what happens. All right. Anytime we get up to this level, we end up having a nice, decent little pullback. Okay, you can see it here. You see it here. So when we're looking at this, it may not show up immediately, but it does push down. Anytime we get into these upper echelons, right now, if you look at us where we're at, okay, I mean, we are crazy, way above. You know, we're right there at 70. You know, we're opening up today. Got the 73. Okay, so we're above this. We're due for the pullback. And that's the point that I want you guys to kind of get at and understand is that we're looking at this potential exhaustion point. Okay, you can think of this as exhaustion, you can think of this as resistance, however you want to look at it. But we're looking at RSI over 70. And typically what happens is we get a nice little pullback after it. Anytime you see these V-shape kind of pushes, These are unnatural curvatures that happen. And specifically in SPY, there's really not a reason for this run up that we had. I mean, you can look at it and say, you know, the earnings were good and stuff like that, but were they really that good? Or did they blow expectations out of the water? You know, and you know, you're looking at them like very few actually were fantastic earnings. Okay. A lot of them were just in line with expectations and had a little bit of positive forward guidance. All right. People want to keep pushing and pushing, pushing until we hit an exhaustion point. Okay. At this point, I do believe that we'll probably see a little bit of a downtrend. Could we get the push and the break above this area? Yeah, absolutely. But I think sooner than later, it's going to get to that exhaustion point and we're going to come down. Indicators right here on the 4-hour chart suggest that, you know, we got our stock RSI. We're way above the 70 over here. This one's actually 80 and 20. We're way above it. We're due for a pullback. Everything's starting to kind of curve into the realm of coming to the downside. Now, to go swing trading on this, we would, if we're looking for longer put swings, we'd definitely want to have some crosses with our MACD, the SMI, and stuff like that. But right now, looking at our RSIs and things of that nature, we're definitely looking like we are getting to that point where we need to have this little bit of a pullback. It's expected. So that's what kind of we're looking at here. We're expecting a little bit of that pullback coming in from the SPY. I wouldn't be surprised if we come in to clear this gap area here. Now, do I think we're going to, you know, just erase all of this? I don't know. That'd be tough to go ahead and erase all this, come all the way down. But, you know, taking the difference between where we're at currently at 434 and here, I could see us coming down in between the mid zone, testing this area here, 432, you know, about a $2 push to the downside sounds about right for the exhaustion point. So it'll be something we'll pay attention to, we'll watch, but you know, we're just going to follow the trend and follow the momentum on a trade. But what we need to do is get in that mindset, think short first, and then look for the long reversal. QQQ, very similar. I'm not going to get as long-winded on QQQ, but very similar idea here. Again, you can see the push, the continued rise, and now we're starting to see that little bit of downtrending right here. Once we start to get the price action below all of our moving averages here, remember we got our 10, we got our 20, and then we got our 50 short moving average. 10 and 20 are EMAs. Our slower moving average, just a straight, is right here at the 50. We're below all of our moving average right now, so we're expecting some of that downtrend pressure coming into Q. We'll probably see sector rotation. Typically when you see the Q sell off, you're looking at sector rotation. You're seeing money come out of technology and roll somewhere else. I think energy is a good candidate for that role. So I'll be looking for, you know, the push into energy. As you can see over here, pre-market, we're up. All these are pretty much the big boys that we pay attention to right here, right? Pre-market, pretty much a lot of the stuff is up. You can see, but it's up barely, right? We're not up on anything real significant. So we'll be looking to see how that rolls out. All right. Let's go ahead and go into IWM. All right, so the IWM, similar thing here. I wish I could get rid of this here. Oh, there we go. Awesome. All right, IWM again, very similar. You're going to notice that these charts are very similar looking. It's because everyone's trading it, right? Everyone's trading the same thing, and everyone's doing pretty much, you know, following the same idea. Okay, following the trend, following the money, looking for the opportunity. Right. IWM looks a little weak, just like everything else, looking like a pullback is due for the IWM. Be a good idea to potentially go short on this coming out of this consolidation. What we're usually looking for is drip, 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 consolidation, drip, 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 right? That's kind of what we're getting into. Let's go ahead and get into a couple of these charts. I want to change this high to low. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. General Mills, look at General Mills dumping, guys. Be a good opportunity for a short trade here. General Mills has some idea of movement here, but we're definitely looking pretty weak on General Mills. Probably a good candidate for the short side of the house. I don't know what happened to my cursor. Something's going on with my cursor. CVX. Energy is something I'm focused on this week. I'm paying attention to CVX. All right. Right now, a little bit of a week. I wouldn't be surprised, though, we see the rotation out of energy, or excuse me, technology, and we see it rotating into the energy sector. So CVX needs to be on your watch list. XOM, he's going to look fairly similar. You can see XOM right here looking really nice. I would like to see XOM push. I think on some good volume, you can get XOM retesting these previous high levels here, looking for a potential breakout. So XOM is definitely something we're paying attention to. Looks like it's moving pretty decent in pre-market as well. So that's always a good sign. COP, ConocoPhillips, is another one consolidating here, looking for the break to the upside, coming out of consolidation on some energy push. That's kind of where we want to go with this particular one here. So ConocoPhillips is something we're paying attention to. And BP was a good one. We traded this in the text message alerts. This one, we ended up catching this little downtrend here. This one kind of suffered us. We were riding this trend here, and then we got caught with that last week energy pulling because everything was rotating out of energy, which was hot, and going back into tech, which was hot last week. So energy, of course, came out. I like this where it's at here currently, kind of consolidating. I'd like to see the push to the upside on BP. BP did really good. I thought their earnings report was pretty good last week. So, I don't really see the reason for the dump other than, it just dumped out of running because people were rotating money out of it and putting it in tech. That's pretty much the only reason why I see this thing doing what it did. A couple earnings trades that we're paying attention to. We were paying attention to Dish pre-market. You see pre-market, it's down a little bit, down 50 cents, but they're calling it 8%. I'm not surprised that Dish is down. However, at this price, when you're looking at Dish, let's look at Dish real quick, man. Dish, what a fall from grace, man. Look, I'm telling you what, man. When look at this, man. This thing used to be just skyrockets. Okay. I mean, this was almost a $90 stock. Okay, we are down in single digits now, right? We haven't been back this area since we're looking at like 1998. You know what I mean? 2000. All right, so we're due for a little bit of a push to the upside, unless Dish is going to look at going bankruptcy or something like that. We're looking for a nice little push. I think people are going to start coming back into it. I like this for share accumulation at this level. Not so much options, not until we start to increase above single digits. But for share accumulation, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good buy on a share accumulation. So I'm a big fan on this one. So anything below $6 on Dish, I'm a big guy saying go ahead and buy it. Why not? Hold up my list real quick on my phone to have certain things I want to pay attention to. Oh, okay, here we go. BTNX, ENTX. No, ENTX. There we go. Biotech, doing what we thought. If you guys watched my video last night, you can see that where it's moving pretty much. Oh, excuse me, pretty much in line with what we figured it was. It's looking at the downtrend to the downside. Um, and that's pretty much where we thought it was going to go, from running pretty hot and coming out of this area. We were expecting the downtrend pressure, so I'm expecting some more downtrending pressure on this one as well. I don't think we'll go back all the way here, but I think we still got a couple bucks that we can come down. My red target, of course, was 94. We still got about $1.50 to reach that point. We'll see what happens at the bell. Obviously, we can't trade options on this one in pre-market. I wish we could, man, but we can't. And that'll give us an opportunity at the bell to see if we get a nice little spike to push up, and then we can catch the reversal. I don't think we're going to get the breakout on this one to the upside. That's just not what I think is going to happen with this particular stock. We might get a push, but I don't think we're going to get the breakout. Another one that I was really interested in, this one's after the market closes, is this Hims and Hers. I like this for share accumulation, guys. I like this for building. We're below our battle line here. Okay. We're on our way to the downside. For me, hey, bring it lower, man. I want this as low as I can get it, man, because I'm going to buy shares. Okay. I'm going to go long on this one. I'm going to go deep. I also talked with my buddy, Stock Digger. She likes this as well for share accumulation. So that gave me a little more confidence in this particular trade, because Stock Diggers, you guys know, if you're on the TWR platform, she trades the long strategy, the stocks and stuff. So definitely, anytime she's interested in a stock, the same stock I am, that gets me even more interested, and I start to buy a little bit heavier. So we'll pay attention to this a little bit, see what we can get. But this one right here is another share accumulation. This would be a good potential early entry into a 2024 portfolio, getting it at around this price. That's why I like it. Going into earnings tomorrow morning, might see the push in these. Uber struggling a little bit right now, but we could see the push going into earnings after a little bit of a cool down period. So I wouldn't be surprised if Uber, struggles here a little bit, gives up some of this, maybe 47, 46, something like that. I got a little bit more on an earnings defeat. I don't think earnings are going to be spectacular with Uber. They could surprise me. But you know, I'm not seeing the volume in Uber, that we've seen before. I think people are penny pinching a little bit. I think that's going to dig into the margins. So, it'll be interesting to see how they're doing. Another one we're paying attention to. This was one of the YouTube. If you guys follow my YouTube trades, free trade alerts, Datadog, we're looking for the short side of the house on this one. So Datadog definitely, they report Tuesday morning as well. And I'm not expecting fireworks from these guys. I think they're going to get beat up. And I think we're going to see some downtrending pressure on Datadog. So I'm going to go with the short side on this one. Normally I'm a bull when it comes to Datadog, but we've been riding the bull train for a minute. We've been riding the bull trade since about here, but it doesn't like earnings reports. Okay. It doesn't like earnings reports, especially in this particular market. So I think we're going to get a similar result like we did here and get the downtrend. That's what I think we're going to get. So we'll definitely see that. Got a question? Yeah. All right. And the final one, let's go ahead and get into a couple of the big boys. Tesla. Tesla looking like it. We're looking, of course, we got a sell signal here coming into pre-market. Tesla's one of those. We're just going to play it, see how we trigger off the battle zone. Okay. We start to trigger to the upside. We're going to play the push towards 225. We start to trigger below the battle zone. We're going to play the push to 215. Tesla's one of those trigger happy ones. Okay. We're just going to play it straight off of the momentum and the battle drill right here. Pre-market, we're up about What is that, about 1.5%, about $3? So we'll be looking at this one. 223 is where it has some pre-market. I wonder why my chart's not showing that. That is interesting. I'm gonna have to work on my chart, figure out what's going on with my charts. Fix appearance. Yeah. Trade. Yeah. Action. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll fix that for next time. I don't know what the deal is. But anyways, let's move back into it. All right, Meta. Gotta buy signal. Meta's up 314.60. Pre-market 315.58. Again, not showing it over here. Why? That's okay. It's okay. We'll see. We'll get back to it. Figure out what's going on with our charts. But yeah, Meta's one to watch as well today. If we can stay elevated, 315 was the target, the previous target, where we thought we'd see some resistance. So if we start to see that resistance at 315, just know that 310 is the new target. If we can't break above the 315 area, 315 to 325 is where we want it to go. If we can't, 315 to retest 310 on the downside. I mean, and note that the downside is not as dramatic as the push to the upside. Why is that? Well, a lot of people still are looking at these and thinking of these as good, good quality stocks to get into. Remember when Meta was like under 100 and people were like, "Oh my God, it's done, it's over with." Dude, it's up 3 times, since then. Okay, Meta's not going anywhere. All right, it's a beast. All right, it's a beast company. Paying attention to it's important. Google, oops, Google got some law things going on. They're pushing on the 130s right now. I wish this would give me my pre-market stuff, and I don't know why it's not doing it, but we're looking at 130s now. Pre-market's 129.32. Looking at the 130s. That was the area where we thought we'd get maybe a little bit of resistance when we go back into the chart here. That's where that previous gap's at, okay? Right here. So looking for a potential gap fill on Google could be there. I don't know if we'll get the entire thing, right? I don't know if we'll get the entire thing, but coming at the midway point, I got 134 at the top line of our particular idea if we start to fill up to the upside. So we'll pay attention to this one at the bell as well. And then, of course, I'm going to give you guys Apple before we leave. Apple, paying attention to Apple, the general pre-market's down 176.38. That's okay. We'll see how they perform today. Got a nice little gap to the downside. You can see here we're rotating under it. Could easily see the gap push to the upside. And then once we start to break that gap, we're looking at 180 for the next test area on Apple. So we'll pay attention to that and see how that is. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. TWR pre-market show is done. I'll have this out on the recorded copy and to the platforms. Guys, don't forget, we have 3 different platforms for you to join. You like text message alerts? We got you covered. You like instant message alerts? I got you covered. We also added the new penny stocks. So pay attention to the links in the description on the videos. I got all the links there. You can go to the website, check it out. But don't forget, if you want to go ahead and trade with the bulls, come trade with TWR. We'll see you when that market bell rings, guys. Have a great morning. Catch you guys on the trading floor.